Welcome to the Conversation Lab. I'm Don Schaefer. If democracy begins in conversation, then we need to nurture a culture where ordinary people like us routinely talk about those things that help us understand each other, whether it's about climate, race, religion, gender, or politics. When we're trying to make sense of our city and the world we live in, every question comes with a set of assumptions about the nature of ourselves and our place in a larger world. The Conversation Lab provides a safe place to talk about some of those things. This program is produced by CFRO FM in Vancouver. It's available on air and online on various platforms, and we appreciate the help of Vancouver's community groups. Welcome to the Conversation Lab. My name is Don Schaefer. We're broadcasting on CFRO FM at 100.5. And on the phone today, we have Jessica Lively, who's the Business Development and Marketing Manager for the Electronic Recycling Association. So thank you for joining us. Jessica, I'm curious, what is the Electronic Recycling Association?
So the Electronic Recycling Association is a nonprofit organization that reduces the negative impact that e-waste has in our environment through the likes of refurbishment of IT devices. So laptops, computers, servers, you name it, we will reuse the items if we can.
So laptops, computers, cell phones?
Yep. So laptops, computers, cell phones, monitors, tablets, iPads, iPods, radios. We basically would take anything that you would find within an office.
So what do you do with them? Do you take all the good parts out and use them for different things, or do you refurbish them? We're
like the filter between you and the recycler. So when we receive items, we try to reuse as much as possible. And then whatever we can't reuse, then we work with vendors, recycling vendors within that province to recycle them appropriately.
So is ERA, I guess that's the acronym, all over Canada?
We are indeed. We're in 7 locations Canada-wide, but we can reach all of Canada.
Okay, so you're in Calgary. If people wanted to recycle their old computers or old electronics, they would best go online to find you?
They would. They could go to era.ca, and we've got an online chat available there. We also have our email info@era.ca. And then they can always call our local numbers. So for the likes of Vancouver, you would call 604-215-4483.
So is this mostly to get rid of old equipment? What do you do with the electronics once you get them?
So I'll just talk you through the process. We work with clients, small, medium, large, throughout Canada, who refresh their IT devices every 3 to 5 years. So they'll call us up. They'll say, look, we've got this amount of equipment. We need it taken away. So we'll come by, we'll pick it up. We'll supply them with a collection certificate that states what we're taking on the day. And it basically just reassures that company or that individual that we're liable once they sign that sheet if anything was to happen to their data.
If I'm a small company or a large company and I have a dozen computers that are past their best before date and we're replacing them, we would call you to get rid of them.
Exactly. So once it goes back to our warehouse, that's where we will distinguish what can be reusable and what we have to recycle. The reusable items then get wiped, they get data wiped, they get cleaned. We also data wipe the recyclable items too, just in case. We've got 2 different methods that we can use. Most companies and most individuals will go with data wipe because it's a free service that we provide. We use a software called Blanco, which switches out the digits roughly about 7 times. So the information and data on that is non-retrievable. We then, another option is our data destruction services. So it's basically a shredder that looks like a paper shredder, but it shreds hard drives. A lot of banking institutions and financial institutions will go with this method of destruction, just because it's obviously, there's no even hard drive left after it's been shredded.
Yeah, it would be fatal.
Exactly.
It would be. I guess in some ways that'd be kind of fun to watch, but scary.
It is. Now, some of my colleagues would say different after shredding 1,000 hard drives in one day. After the 1,000th one, it's not as fun to watch. But so then once we've data wiped everything off the hard drive, we'll put it back in, we'll clean up the laptop or the computer. If we're donating it to an organization, we'll install Windows 10, and then we will work through our online list of applications and donate them as we see fit.
So if I understand correctly, ERA gathers electronic equipment from industry and from individuals alike, refurbish them, and then make them available to the public?
We do indeed. So there's a process. Not every individual can apply for donation. They apply to an online application and they're vetted through ERA to ensure that we're donating to individuals who need them and not just to anybody.
So the work you're doing, especially right now, would be incredibly important because more people are online.
Exactly. So a lot of people are working remotely from home. A lot of families are home with their kids and need laptops and computers for homework and to connect with their families.
Who's eligible to get a computer from ERA?
Before COVID-19, it would have mainly have been organizations that are Canadian registered. Individuals could apply, however, they would need to go through a social worker or a church or an affiliated organization that they were part of in order to get a donation from it.
So can any not-for-profit apply?
Exactly, any non-for-profit.
Okay.
Now, since COVID-19, we have started a new program called Lending a Lifeline by Lending a Laptop. And basically, this is kind of targeted at families at home or organizations that want to work remotely from home.
Now, I saw on your website pictures of kids with laptops. I've seen pictures at the Portland Hotel Association or Society with laptops. So you've touched a lot of organizations and a lot of groups in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm. I can't give you the statistics of just Vancouver, but last year alone, we donated to over 300 organizations Canada-wide.
So that's a lot of computers.
Yeah, so they could vary from one laptop down to 100. You know?
So how do people find out about this program? I guess they go online?
They go... Yes. So they would go onto our website again, era.ca, and our form is in the blog section online. Now, they can also just talk to one of our online reps. We've got a chat going from 9 to 5 p.m. every day. So our online reps are very helpful and they will send them in the right direction.
So walk me back to the beginning. So where did ERA come from? Was it your idea? Was it somebody else's idea? What's the size of the team? And what's the mission and goal?
So I'll just bring it back to the very beginning. ERA was an idea from a man called Boyne Padu. He was the founder and president. He's the founder and president of ERA. He emigrated to Canada when he was 13 years of age, so over 15 years ago. And he received a donated computer from a church that was in his community. And him and his brother sat down, and this computer wasn't working. They fiddled around with it. They were two nerds, just trying to get a computer working so that they could go online, get their homework done, learn English. And they got it working, and it kind of sparked an idea in his later years to be like, look, there's obviously a lot more individuals like him out there who are in need of laptops or computers. So why isn't there a service for it? And obviously a lot of families can't afford to pay high prices for equipment that are new. So why not? Why not reuse? You know?
So that's where it began.
That's where it began. So it started off in Calgary 15 years ago. And since then, we're now in 7 cities Canada-wide. We opened up in April in the US to test the waters over there. And it was about 60 employees, I believe. No, don't quote me on that. We could have more, we could have less, but it's around 60.
Yeah, how could you tell these days when we're all working from home?
Exactly.
It's a very weird time. So tell me about your job. Tell me about as the business development and marketing manager. I am assuming because of your title that you look for businesses that have computers that are nearing the end of their most useful first 5 years, and have been written off from a capital point of view, and then you would take them and I guess refurbish them and put them back into the public's hands.
Mm-hmm. So with my job, I get to work with businesses. I get to work with partners. So I can work with organizations to host donation events. Sometimes I get to work with MLAs or MPPs who come out on the day within their community. We could be donating 50 laptops to an organization. And then they'll come down and they'll say a few words. It's a nice day out. But Don, the best part of my job is the donation side. Is seeing the faces of those kids or those adults who obviously can't afford laptops or computers, and that's the reason why they've applied through our process. And just being able to hand them that laptop and be like, here you go. You know, it's that the faces are just, I can't even describe, you know?
Yeah, it's got to feel good.
It does. It's the best part of my job, and I know our founder. It's the best part.
So why is it particularly important to you now?
It's particularly important for us to donate right now because there's obviously a lot of people remotely at home.
That are disconnected.
Disconnected not only with work, but disconnected from their families. There's a lot of kids not being able to see their grandmother or grandfather right now, and what better way than to open up your laptop or turn on your computer and FaceTime them, you know? It's still communicating. It's still a form of contact.
So, I'm not really sure how to ask this question, but what's changed for you since COVID-19? What's changed in your life?
Oh, I'm working from home now, so I'm a chatty catty. I love being around people. That's why I work in marketing. I love hosting events. I love going to events. I love networking. And obviously with COVID-19, I'm sitting at home at a desk on my own. You know, I'd rather be out there talking to the public, donating myself instead of having to ship a laptop off to a house, you know, getting involved, community involvement, talking to individuals in need instead of talking to them either on the phone or by email.
The Electronic Recycling Association is a not-for-profit, so I'm curious about your funding model. Do you get government funding? Do you get provincial funding? Do you write for grants? Or is all of your funding dependent on finding computers and sourcing computers and repurposing them?
So, Don, we're not government funded. We're not affiliated with the government at all. So we're a privately owned nonprofit, which means that we don't receive any grants. We don't receive any funding from anywhere. How we fund our operation and keep ourselves going is by our clients and companies signing up for memberships that we have, using our data destruction services. And also, we do sell a portion of the equipment that we get in to be able to fund our operation Canada-wide.
So there's really two messages in this program. One is, if you need a computer, if you're in dire need of contact and want to stay connected, contacting ERA for a laptop would be a great place to start. Also, if you're a company or if you've got used electronics sitting around that you don't want or use anymore, you should contact ERA to donate.
Exactly. As once those donations stop coming in regards to receiving them from companies and individuals, we can't keep donating because the well will run dry, you know.
So you've got, as I saw on your website, you've got a number of different programs. Can you walk us through what each program is?
Are you talking about the lending a laptop program?
Yeah.
So we've got a lease to own program, which is one of the options. It's 4 options altogether, but our lease to own a laptop is basically, we've got $80 laptops, which once a month you would pay $10 a month for the 8 months. And then once you've paid the $10 a month for 8 months, you'd own the laptop. We have a rent a laptop. So basically, if you need it for a month or 2 months, it's the same price, $10 a month. and you can give it back whenever you see fit. We do have our normal free laptops, which are donated laptops. Now, at the moment, we've over 250 applications in from families and from organizations Canada-wide for this lending laptop program. So it will take some time to get all those laptops out to those individuals. And then finally, our budget laptops, which are $80.
I'm just curious. It's been a while since I bought a laptop. So what's the cost of a pretty basic laptop?
Right now, just average, from what I've been Googling myself, about $400, $500. That would be now a pretty basic one.
And you're selling a refurbished one for $80.
$80, yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
And Windows 10 comes installed on it too, so it's not like they're just going to get this blank canvas.
Well, I would think in this day and age, with all that we're going through, finding ways to keep families and kids and people connected is really important. So I admire the work you and your team are doing.
Thank you.
Is your background in the not-for-profit sector? I'm just curious what caused you to this work.
So I'm actually from Ireland. I moved here 6 years ago. I actually came for a holiday 6 years ago, and I came in the midst of the winter. So when I came, I just fell in love with the country, and I was like, okay, well, if I fell in love with the country in the wintertime, I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it here in the summer. So I went home, and I just finished university, and I was like, look, Ireland was in a recession, and I was like, I need to go see the world. So I applied for jobs. ERA interviewed me, and I've been with them now 6 years.
And I gather you like it.
Oh, I love my job.
It sounds like the kids that are smiling is what keeps you there.
It is. It keeps me going. It's the best. All the work that goes into these events and these donations, it's a lot of work, and it's not just me. I've got a team behind me too. But at the end of the day, all of us just love seeing the faces on kids.
You know, for the benefit of our listeners, we're talking online. We're doing this conversation or this interview online, and we have the advantage of seeing each other on our laptops. And I noticed that you've posted a picture of you in a canoe on a magnificent lake somewhere in Alberta. So clearly the geography attracted you as well.
Oh, big time, Don. I love hiking. It's one of my passions. So obviously I live in Calgary, less than an hour away from the Rocky Mountains. Going out there, not even to hike now, but just to go out to the mountains is just phenomenal.
Let's do a recap. You work with the Electronic Recycling Association, which is a not-for-profit organization that collects and refurbishes and makes available used electronics, in particular laptops, for kids or for not-for-profit organizations to try and help and keep the world connected. If I'm a company or if I'm an individual with used electronics that I want to get rid of, or I'd like to see repurposed if possible, I would contact you at era.ca.
Exactly. That's the best way. It's our website. It basically has all different methods of contacting us, whether it be phone, email, online chat. And we're always available.
So before I let you go, is there anything that we haven't talked about? Is there anything that we need to cover?
I think that's pretty much it. What do you think?
I don't know. I just, I worry about, missing something. I'm concerned that I've never asked the right question, like what keeps you up at night?
COVID-19 at the moment.
Yeah, you're not alone. That's for sure.
Yeah. I suppose at this time, a message from our founder from yesterday was that we're bunkering down. We're waiting for the crisis to end. We'll ship as many laptops as we can out until we run out of them. We're hoping that we don't run out of them and companies and individuals help us out. Now, in regards to social distancing, we've put necessary precautions into place at all of our depots, just health and safety precautions put into place there. We also have options where individuals and companies can ship their devices to us if they don't want to actually be in the same room as each other. In regards to drop-off locations. We've got 7 of them Canada-wide that individuals can drop them off to. And then if there is a larger donation or a few 2 or 3 pallets, our guys are willing to go out and pick them up.
So that's great to know. If I'm not mistaken, there's a drop-off point in Richmond?
There is. So our address in Richmond is Unit 1045 11111 Twig Place, Richmond, BC. Now, individuals can just drop them off, knock on the door if they don't want to be right beside somebody in regards to practicing social distancing. They can wait in the car, and our guys will come out and take their devices.
Okay, I didn't write that address down, so I'm assuming I can find that at your website.
You can indeed. So when you go onto era.ca, there's a little green box on the left-hand side. You click on that, and it'll give all of our locations. You just click on one of those and find the address.
Jessica, I really want to thank you for taking the time to talk about ERA and the work you do. It's really important, especially now with so many people being disconnected. And your organization is finding a way to keep us connected. So we're all grateful for the work you do. We wish you the best. Again, I'm really grateful that you could join us. One more time, the best place to find you is era.ca. And is there a local phone number in Vancouver?
There is. So the phone number is 604-215-4483. And Don, thanks for having me on the show today. I really appreciate it.
And likewise. Thanks, Jessica. I hope I see you in that canoe soon.
Okay. Hopefully, Don.
Okay, take care.
You too. Bye. Bye.
Bye now. We've been speaking with Jessica Leifley, who's the Business and Development and Marketing Manager for the Electronic Recycling Association. If you've got an old computer or a laptop or used electronic equipments, please keep them in mind. Again, you can find more about ERA at era.ca.
That's another edition of the Conversation Lab. This radio program and podcast is produced by CFRO FM in Vancouver's downtown east side on the territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Our gratitude and thanks to them, as well as the many not-for-profit organizations and community groups for their support. If you enjoyed this program, please consider becoming a member of Co-op Radio to help support programs like these. If you know anyone or an organization with a story to share, please let them know about us. We can be found at coopradio.org, theconversationlab.ca, and on many social media and podcasting platforms. Kimit Sekon, John Massacar, and Julian Anton have helped produce this program. Thanks, guys, and thank you for dropping by the Conversation Lab.